So I was sitting there, debating what to do in a similar video, looking over the lore, trying to find things to answer where Rose, the antagonist of Bounty of Blood, went at the end of the DLC. To quickly recap that, Rose awakens a vault monster, the Ruiner, but vanishes once it is summoned. Then, at the very end, the narrator of the DLC says this.
Not a bad haul, all things told. Funny thing, townsfolk never did find Rose's body. But I suppose that's a story for another day.
Basically confirming that we will see her again whether we want to or not. In essence of that video, I was going to ask what happened to Rose, but while I was writing that script, something crossed my mind. What if Rose was a siren? Call me crazy, but after debating it, after reviewing what we find out in Bounty of Blood, I say it is very, very likely. And I say that because all the right evidence lines up with the idea that Rose is actually a siren. For starters, if we look at the entirety of Borderlands 3, each DLC had a point to add to the bigger picture. It reintroduced characters and set up details for future stories. The Handsome Jackpot gave Moxie a casino and reintroduced Timothy. Guns, Love, and Tentacles developed the relationship between Hammerlock and Wainwright while reintroducing Gage. And Bounty of Blood, it really is the odd one out. What did it actually give us? What were the major implications for the DLC? How did it add to this bigger picture? Well, obviously it showed Jacobs is capable of doing messed up stuff like the other corporations, but we didn't meet anyone familiar. We didn't get any major implications unless you consider Rose. If Rose is more than she lets on, if Rose is actually a siren, it completely shifts her impact on the future of Borderlands and fits the overall narrative of Borderlands 3. You see, Borderlands 3 had technically two constant themes: sirens and Iridians. Throughout the course of the game, across the DLCs, we opened numerous vaults and met or have been reintroduced to many of the 6, now 7, sirens of the 6 galaxies. So to say Rose is a siren in a game dedicated on expanding siren lore, it isn't all that far-fetched. That being said, however, something that is a staple of every siren is their power. Each siren has special abilities, so it begs the question: if Rose is a siren, what is her gift? Or, as Nereid puts it, her curse? Well, Rose being a siren might give an explanation to some of the unnatural things she was able to do throughout Bounty of Blood. Her quick draw against Vestige's sheriff, her sudden disappearance at the end of the DLC, and most importantly, her knack for taming and summoning hostile animals and monsters. It also gives a pretty neat explanation to her tattoos. But something interesting to note about Gehenna in particular, something that might sway you in case you are still on the fence about Rose being a siren: the company used this green crystalline stuff called core to infuse various forms of wildlife in various experiments. Now this core originated from Gehenna's vault, and it is what Rose's abilities are most connected to. It's almost like the iridium we find on Pandora. It can be used to empower, control, and harness, but only by a siren. Core really deserves its own video, but for this one, since Rose was capable of manipulating it, consuming it even, again, it just restates what's become obvious and also reaffirms the motivations of the Jacobs Corporation. Given her unique abilities, Rose, from a young age, was the subject of extensive tests and attempts to tame and subdue the resident vault monster to give Jacobs a leg up on their enemies. I wonder where I heard that one before. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns regarding this video, Borderlands, or its lore, you can leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to read each and every one of them. Thanks for watching.